Now, this was as of the 1 p.m. advisory. If you missed it at the top of this, back to a Category 2. It reached its intensity, or its peak intensity, a couple of hours ago, and it's continuing to move northeast now. It's headed right for the Cameron area in between Lake Charles, Lafayette. It'll make that landfall probably closer to 6 o'clock or so maybe a little bit sooner than initially expected. There's the landfall location, continuing northwest movement, and once it makes landfall, it will weaken very, very quickly. Tropical storm by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. It'll be moving into Mississippi, moving very, very quickly. Look at our winds, gusting to 40 at Homa, gusting to 33 in New Orleans. We had someone on the North Shore tell us it was windy. It is. We're gusting to 30 in Hammond and gusting to 60 in Lake Charles. So Lake Charles is already getting in on those stronger winds, only going to continue to get stronger. Notice they could see wind gusts over 100 miles per hour near the landfall, even getting close to Lafayette, seeing some very damaging winds with this. 60 to 70 from Baton Rouge to Morgan City, 40 to 50 for the Bayou and River parishes, 40 plus is possible here in the Metro and the North Shore, and then lower totals or lower numbers as you get off towards South Mississippi. The main winds will mainly be later this afternoon, but more so this evening going into the early overnight period. Storm surge values 2 to 4 feet for Plaquemines and St. Bernard and Lower Jefferson. Terrebonne from Port Fourchon to the west, 4 to 7 feet, 7 to 11 feet still forecasted from Morgan City towards the east, or towards the west rather. Now high tide was early this morning. We're going into low tide now, and that's why a lot of those low-lying roads are still not seeing a lot of water, but we will likely see that water come back up just a little bit later tonight because our high tides will be after midnight for most locations. So water will eventually start to rise a little bit more with that strong southerly wind and as we go into high tide. 1 to 3 feet in the lake and 1 to 3 feet over in South Mississippi. Another thing we're really going to have to watch for here in southeast Louisiana, mainly later this afternoon into tonight, is the tornado potential. It's not very high, but it's not extremely low. On our scale here, we've given it a 3 in the yellow, and that does include all of southeast Louisiana and all of our counties over there in South Mississippi. So make sure you're staying weather aware because they'll be very quick moving tornadoes. Rainfall potential still looks pretty low here in southeast Louisiana. We'll get that band moving through later this evening. Could dump, an inch or so, but widespread heavy rainfall will be more likely towards Lafayette, Lake Charles, and up to Alexandria. I want to leave you with this. This is PRECISIONCAST breaking down what you can expect through the rest of today into tonight. Notice not a whole lot of rain through the rest of the afternoon. A lot over towards the west, though, and that's where winds will really start to crank later on this afternoon. Your wind gust could get pretty stout later as well here in southeast Louisiana. This is 6 o'clock. Here's our band we're going to be watching, entering Homa, Thibodaux by 6 o'clock-ish, getting into the river parishes by 7 o'clock, and then getting closer to the metro by 8 and 9 o'clock. This is when the winds could get a bit gustier. This model showing 45 in New Orleans, possibly up to 60 in a few spots, and then continuing to move towards the west or towards the east. This is after midnight, getting into South Mississippi, and that really will be the last of the heavy rainfall it looks like. This is by 8 a.m. Notice we might not really have much in the way of rainfall left over the area, just a few showers. Winds still somewhat breezy, but not too bad out of the southwest at 22 or to 25 or so. So overall, the main impacts will be this evening going into early parts of the overnight hours. I think by tomorrow morning, it'll be looking a lot better. So tomorrow, mid-80s, we'll see a 40% chance of rain early on, drying later on, and then by Sunday, we're looking dry with temperatures back in the mid-80s.